Where are those guys? They're late. Oh, I bet they're not even showing up today. This episode of the Entertaining Stupid Podcast is brought to you by my new soda, Gender Fluid. Have you ever decided to hang out with the boys and have a few drinks? Then, while they're all pounding back their generic light beer, you decide to have yourself a gin and cran? Those guys get a little rowdy and start asking you why you're having such a girly drink. That's not a problem anymore. Mix in a bit of my new soda, Gender Fluid. It turns any drink to one that's neither manly nor girly. It can be both, or whatever it wants to be. It's a multi-purpose industrial strength seltzer infused with vague hints of lavender, lemon, cucumber, wood chips, and bacon. It goes great with everything and nothing. Visit www.thisisnotaproduct.com and use promo code SLIPANDSLURP to get free delivery. That's promo code SIPNSLURP at checkout to get free delivery. Gender Fluid. It's time to get woke, you fucks. Now on to the show. Hey everybody, welcome to another episode of the Entertaining Stupid Podcast. My name's Buddy Jayson, and I'm all you got this week. You see, I sent out a message last week to see if anybody wanted to record this weekend, and nobody responded. That's partially true. Ray responded. He said he didn't want to drive into town, so you know what? Fair enough to him. So I don't really have much planned, so I'm going to try a bit more of my comedy. We'll see how it goes. First thing I want to do is I want to say happy birthday to my dad, who just celebrated his 68th birthday last weekend there. Happy birthday, Dad, and hopefully there's more to you. Speaking about my dad, I do want to share one of my favorite stories that I have with him. You see, back in high school, I decided to go grocery shopping with my dad one day. And we ended up at this bakery where we needed to pick up some bread. So he walks up to the counter, and behind the counter is this girl there who must have been around the same age as me, working part-time, fresh out of, no, not even fresh, just in high school or something like that. And my dad walks up to her and he says to her, "I would like the rye boog." She seems confused. Like, what is a boog? So she tries to ask him questions about what he's looking for and what exactly it is. And all my dad could do was just repeat over and over and over again, "I want the rye boog. The boog. I bought it here last week. The rye boog." And credit to her, she tried her best. Now, my dad's English ain't great, but it's decent enough. So she starts scrambling around in her mind, trying to think of, what he's asking for, what it could possibly mean, and she's just running through everything on the menu there. And it occurs to her as she passes over the one item on the menu called rye bread, 800 grams. You see, my dad had read the menu and mistaken the 8 and the zeros as the letters B and O. So to him, it read rye, B-O-O-G, and then to anybody else, you could have seen rye, 800 grams. So she brings that up to my father and goes, "Oh, do you mean the rye bread, 800 grams? Now, any rational person would have fully admitted, oh, yeah, sorry, I was mistaken. I do mean the rye 800 grams. But not my father. No, he's a stubborn old coot. He decides to double down and just go, nope, that's not it. Don't worry about it. I'll come back next time. We'll get it then. And then just proceeds to walk out of the bakery. And I follow in tow. And you know what? I don't think we've ever been there. Or we've never been back. My parents are great. Yeah, no, I love my dad. I love my mom. Though, honestly, me and my brothers could probably treat my mother a bit better. She's, she loves us and she only really wants the best for us, but her 3 boys have a really rough way of reciprocating those feelings and showing that back to her. We all did kind of similar things when we made important decisions in our lives, and that's, we didn't tell her. We just kind of did it. Like, my older brother Jackie, when he decided that, he'd like to spend a year in Japan snowboarding and teaching English and just living life. He told my mom this, and my mom was like, okay, that's fine, that's fair, but you have to come back home and spend a weekend with your parents. Can you promise me that? And my older brother goes, yeah, certainly, I can do that. Let's schedule this for such and such weekend. And there was the plan. And a few weeks later, on a Saturday, I got a phone call at 6 o'clock in the morning. Me being in high school at the time, probably coming from a party or something like that the night before, I picked it up and, very incoherently asked, what? Who's this? And on the other end was my brother. Jackie said he was at the airport and that he was getting on a plane to fly to Japan and that he couldn't make it back home for that weekend that he promised mom and dad, and that he was sorry and he wanted me to tell them that he loved them. Then he hung up. I proceeded to fall back asleep like a normal teenager does, and I didn't wake up till about noon, and when I woke up, I sauntered off into the kitchen to grab some food, and my parents were there sitting, having lunch. I don't know what triggered the thought, but something did, and I go, oh, I was supposed to tell you something. What was it? Jackie's on a plane to Japan right now. He can't come back home. I just walked out of there. And you can see the look of concern and anger that washed over my mother's face. Like, they had this whole plan, and my brother just absolutely betrayed her. And I think that really set the tone with how me and my brothers interact with my mother. Because when I reached the age where I wanted to move out and live on my own, Mom had some hesitations. And I said, okay, we'll think about it. I'll think about it. I'll hold off on the decision about moving out. And I waited till the opportunity presented itself that I could do what I want. So my mom decides to go on vacation with my father for a week. And I thought in my head, that's the perfect time. That's my opportunity to move out of the house. So within that week, I packed up everything out of my room and I moved on out. And then my mom comes home from vacation. She sees that all my stuff is gone. She walks out to my little brother and asks, Where's Jayson? Where's his stuff? And my little brother Johnny's like, oh yeah. I think Jayson moved out like a week ago. And my little brother just told me that same look of like betrayal and anger washed over my mother again. Now, my little brother is also at fault in these things because he did something very similar to me when he wanted to move out. He waited until mom left. But the thing is, I waited till mom left on vacation. John waited until mom left to get groceries. She had walked out in the morning to go do some errands, some shopping, and then come back home. And in that time, my little brother packed up all of his stuff, slammed it in the back of a U-Haul, and moved out. My mom comes back home expecting my brother to be there, and she brings home some lunch for him and gets ready to make dinner. And she looks around and she notices all of a sudden, all of John's things are missing. So she quickly calls me up and goes, "Hey, did you know your brother moved out of the house?" I'm like, Yeah, I think he mentioned something about that. And I could hear the seething anger just bubbling underneath the surface over the phone call from that decision. So I want to say to my mother, I love you. I'm just sorry. We're kind of like assholes. So I've treated my mom awfully every so often here or there, but you know, I really do love them. They are fantastic. The fact that, you know, they decided to move from their home country to a brand new place to start a family and give me and my brothers the chances and opportunities that they've never seen before is phenomenal, and I truly love them. And you know, they imparted their values onto us, and you know, one of the big reasons why food is so important in my life is because of my dad's cooking and you know, all the memories that I have around that. Coming from a Chinese family, rice has always been a big staple in our diet, and it's always meant so much to us that when I moved out, the first thing my mom did as a home-warming gift is get me a rice cooker. Now, to you white people, a rice cooker, it's not an Asian person that you pay to make your rice. No, it's this fantastic invention that its sole purpose is to make rice perfectly. Like I can toss in whatever amount of rice I want and fill it up with water up to the measurement lines and close it and press a button, and you know, in a couple of minutes or so, rice is made and it's perfect. It's fantastic. Now, when I moved out, it's fantastic. It's fantastic. Rice cookers are a fantastic invention, and I do believe that they should belong in everybody's home, especially if you love eating rice like I do. I've seen some white people make rice before, and they really have two separate methods of cooking rice. The first one is when you pour everything into a saucepan and you put it on the stove and you stir it and you sit and you stir like you're cooking up a potion in like the 1800s. And then when you consider done, you go and strain it. Fuck. Rice cookers, they're an amazing invention. I don't understand how white people cook rice without it. Like, I lived with white people, and I've noticed that they cook rice in two ways. First one is on the stove in a saucepan, pot, whatever, and they just dump it in. And then they start mixing it slowly and like stirring it. Like they're a witch from the 1800s brewing a potion or something like that. And the second method is by microwave. They have these things. They use these things called Uncle Ben's instant rice. It's these little packages that they just stick in the microwave and they turn it on. And when the timer goes off and the microwave turns off, they pull it out of the microwave and just like squeeze it out of the packaging. Like, yeah, that's ethnic enough for me. And you think about it. Uncle Ben's rice, they make Mexican rice, they make Chinese fried rice, they make all sorts of different types of rice. And do you really trust Uncle Ben to get you rice? Like, if you think about it, would you try something like Uncle Wong's jerk chicken? Because I wouldn't. And I know Uncle Wong. That's my uncle. But that's not really chicken. It's cat. All right. So, those are like the best bits of this whole last hour that I've recorded. Hopefully it's coherent. It makes sense. I know I gotta work on it, but I still think the stories are funny. So, let me know in person whenever you see me, or if you wanna, message me or something like that about how you feel about those stories. Are they funny? I definitely have to work on the delivery and the presentation of all, but I think the bits are there. I just need to put them together properly. Anyways, this is my attempt at a short little podcast. Oh, it's probably going to be barely even 20 minutes long. Thank you so much for joining me, and I'm going to continue working on my comedy. So, hey, send me well wishes or tell me to go fuck myself because I'm not funny. Just interact with me. I'm very lonely. This whole quarantine thing, it's just, I miss people. Have a wonderful day, guys. We'll see you next time. Bye!